Oh This video is going to make some people angry. But before you come at me,
plus I know my Thai boxing,
please stick around, hear what I have to say, because the chances are I might agree with you. Maybe. Okay, so maybe or maybe not, you've been triggered by this title, why you're not really an empath. And that's totally understandable. In fact, when I started seeing this pushed around the internet, I felt this inner rage light up inside of me. What do you mean I'm not an empath?
Of course I am! What a jerk! I'm an empath!
Plus, most of my YouTube videos have an introduction specifically to the empath. Hey there, I'm Sam. I'm an online counsellor for INFJs, introverts and empaths. I'm Sam and I'm an online therapist for INFJs, introverts and empaths. When it's been your identity for so long and helps explain the way you get around in the world, it can be hard to let go of this idea, which I totally get. So before I address this statement, let's make sure that we're all on the same page and let's talk about what an empath is. An empath is someone who feels and absorbs the emotions of those around them. You might walk into a room and immediately pick up the energy and vibe on what's going on. Or when you're chatting with a mate, you might be able to know their mood without them actually telling you. You might start to feel guilty, sad, frustrated, or happy and excited. Basically, you're feeling what they feel. You absorb it and it rubs off on you to the point that it's hard to know what's your emotion and what's their emotion. Empaths are often described as highly sensitive people. Walking into a room can feel overwhelming with all of the lights and sounds and chaotic energy. Sometimes an empath can feel overly concerned with their loved ones and looking after their pain that they forget to look after themselves and their own energy and needs. So I don't think anyone is disagreeing that there are people out there who have those experiences. And I'm pretty sure you might identify as an empath too. And let me know in the comments if that's you. I started seeing on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook that people have been saying you're not really an empath. You've just been traumatized. Neuroscientists are starting to believe that your level of empathy can be directly related to childhood trauma, which isn't surprising when I think about this field that I'm in as a counselor and therapist. It appears that most therapists have actually had some sort of trauma in their life. I think when you've gone through some real in your life, it's a lot easier to take on the perspective of other people, to walk a mile in their shoes, and to understand what it's like to go through the pain that they're feeling. Plus, it becomes a survival mechanism when you are going through trauma. You learn to pick up the body language of others to know if you're safe or unsafe. You learn to see those subtle cues in a person's facial expressions or body language. Children who are going through trauma can get to a place where they feel responsible for the other person's happiness, because that other person's happiness will determine whether they're going to remain safe and at peace. They are in a constant state of high alert, just so that they can keep that peace and know that everything is going to be okay. And then, sadly, those learnt behaviors that you pick up as a child, they carry on with you as you become an adult. What was once a survival mechanism when you were young then becomes a hindrance when you're all grown up. I think that's why people often say that being an empath can both be a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing because an empath has this natural ability of loving the hell out of you, of being there for their friends and family, of knowing when someone isn't really okay. When you know how to handle your empathetic nature, it really can feel like a superpower. But if you're still stuck in that trauma response, in a place where you haven't yet healed and made peace with your past, being an empath really can feel like a curse. You know what? The internet might be telling you you're not really an empath.
It's just trauma.
And honestly, with some of the Instagram posts I've seen on this, it almost feels like it's an attack on those people who identify as an empath. But does it really matter? If you want to call yourself an empath, then go ahead. In my opinion, it's a much nicer term than walking around going,
hey, I'm a person who's gone through childhood trauma.
Perhaps being an empath means you're a survivor, a fighter, you're victorious. Yes, you've gone through hell and back, but you kept on fighting. You kept on going. You made it through the other side, and I think damn well that you're a superhero. What you went through was absolute garbage. I would never wish that upon anyone. And from the depths of my heart, I wish I could erase your past and take it away, but I cannot. What I can do though is look you in the eye and tell you that you should be so proud of yourself. You're an empath, and you're damn well okay. If you haven't been coping with your empathetic nature, then what can you do about it? Well, there's a few things that you can do. You can get grounded, you can seek therapy, you can begin working on some of these trauma wounds. You can also learn to set healthy boundaries. If you want to learn more about what healthy boundaries actually look like, then go ahead and click on this video and I'll see you there.